Kadosh Boker Or Masechet Sotah Daf Daled Amud Aleph 4A1. The kama shius to stira. How much is the shiur of stira? Kedei tum'ah, in order to become impurified. What is that? Kedei bi'ah, in order to have relations, or kedei ha'ara, right? Or even ha'ara. Ha'ara is the beginning of the relations, meaning it's not even that you put in the full organ, it's even the beginning of the relations. That's already enough. The kedei akafat dekel, even if it's in order to come and to put the legs. What does that mean exactly? Here it says here, the Gemara is going to explain what does this mean exactly. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, it's in order to come and to put water in wine. Mizigata kos. Rabbi Yoshua Omer, in order to drink the cup. And Azai Omer, in order, because basically we're trying to find out now what is Kedera. Kedera is basically just putting the crown inside of her. Right? So how much is that? Either to dilute a wine by putting water in it, either drinking it, or litzlot beitza, to roast an egg, right? But a light roasting, like like sometimes in Israel they have. It doesn't become a hard boiled egg. It's like in the middle, right? It's like okay, yeah. Rabbi Akiva omer kedei logomah, in order to swallow it. Yehuda ben Betera omer kedei ligmor shalosh beitzim zoch, 3 beitzim one after another. In order to cut and tie together, right, 2 different ends of a thread. In order to put her hand, right, into her mouth to take out like a toothpick, to take out something from her mouth. In order to put her hand inside of a sal, inside of a basket, in order to take out a bread. Now, even though there's no raya, because of an isha zona until a loaf of bread. So you see from here that there's like a raya. It's not really a full raya. A ki'ilu, it's that she's putting her hand towards the sun to take a kikar lechem. So says the Gemara, why do I need so many, imagine, I just asked you, how much is the time of tum'ah? So we thought that tum'ah might mean like mamash, a long time. No. Even something very, very quick. That's already tum'ah, right? She secluded herself and that's already enough. But the Gemara says now, all these different explanations on hara. Why do we need to know that? So he says, we needed it. But if we only taught kedei tumah, we would have thought to say that it had to be the time of tum'ah, which is the biyah in itself, and also the time to appease her. A woman is not a man that he could just come and he just has relations. You have to appease a woman. You have to get her in. You have to get her to want it. It's not just stam. Right? We're not talking about violation, right? We're talking about, you understand? So therefore, Kamash Malan comes teach you Kedei Biyah. It's just relations in itself. Now, if we only taught Kedei Biyah, I would have thought to say Gemara Biyah, which means that you had a full relations, which that could take a few minutes. He says, or even much longer. But he says Kamash Malan Kedei Ara. It's just inserting, and that's it. That's it. There's nothing else. Okay? If you only taught me Kedei Ara, Hava, what to say Kedei Hara Vertzuta? Fine, it's Hara, but you still have to appease her. Kamashmalan kedei tumah constitutes kedei tumah. Kama kedei hara. So what is kedei hara or kedei tumah, whatever it is? Kedei akafat dekel, right? Kedei akafat dekel. So the maskana is the shiur stira is akafat dekel. Okay.
So it's the time to just go in.
Yes. Okay. So it says the Gemara, meaning we have a contradiction. We don't know. When it says so here, interesting. It says chazarat dekel, not hakafat dekel. Lachzor. Basically, it's going around the dekel. You're going around the palm tree, so the time that it takes for you to go around and get to the same place where you started from. Okay, that's the hakafat dekel or chazarat dekel. No, that's just an amount of time. An amount of time. Yeah, a few seconds. Right? These are the words. In order to actually swallow it. Okay? 1 second. So basically, the contradiction is that here you have the kedei. We said at the beginning, kedei tum'ah, kedei biyah, kedei ara, kedei chazarat dekel. And then you had another shita, which was Rabbi Yeshua says kedei mizigat kos, but as I says kedei lishtotor, Rabbi Akiva says kedei litzol beitza, and Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera omer kedei loguma. So it says the Gemara, kasal kadaitin. I would have thought to say hainu akafat chazarat dekel. It's the same thing, which means Hakafat tekel v'chazarat tekel is the same thing, going around the palm tree, right? So he says, no, hatam amar Yishmael kedei hakafat tekel, u'peleg Rabbi Eliezer alei, v'amar Rabbi Eliezer says kedei chazarat tekel. So obviously it has to be that it's the same shiur. So says the Gemara, no, amar Abai hakafa ze baregel, chazara ze baruach. What does that mean? When you say hakafat regel, you're doing hakafot. How do you do hakafot? You go around with your feet. Well, what does it mean chazarat dekel? Chazarat dekel is that when the dekel moves with the wind, and then it comes back to the original place. You know, like you have like the tree, the leaves and everything, that they move to a certain, and then they come back. That's called chazarat dekel. So by Ravashi comes and he asks the question, chazarat beruach ki'echidat v'adarati, right? What does it mean? That it's taking when it moves and then moves back? Or is it that it's the shiur zman that the dekel is going v'chozer until it stops moving? Meaning, is it only just like this, or is it like this? But you know that even when it gets back here, it moves a little bit like this until it stops. What's the question? What is it exactly? It says Gemara Teiku. We don't have an answer. So says the Gemara Hatam Amar Rabbi Eliezer. There Rabbi Eliezer said Kedei mizigat kos hacha. Right, what's going on? One place he's saying you have to dilute the wine with water, and the other place he says chazarat dekel. Answers the Gemara, it's the same time. It's the same time, whatever it is, of a few seconds. Okay? Says Rabbi Yishua kedei lishtoto, v'hacha kedei mizigat kos. There it says in order to drink a cup, and here he's saying in order to do mizigat kos. So says the Gemara, you're right. Ema, you have to say kedei limzog v'lishtok. You're diluting it and you're drinking it. So says Gemara, why don't we just say that it's the same shiur? In Ken says the Gemara, so then if you're going to tell me that, so then the two brightot are bringing down with that they're basically they're going to be cholek alaf, because basically if you're going to tell me it's the exact same shita, you can't say that then. So Hatam Amar Ben Azai there, Ben Azai said in order to roast an egg, and here he's saying in order to drink the cup of water. What's going on? So he says the same shiur, either bichal shiurim. So Hatam Rabbi Kiva there, over there, Rabbi Kiva said to swallow the egg, and here it's saying in order to roast it. So it says no, you're right. You have to roast it and then you have to swallow it. So ask the Gemara the same thing that we keep on asking. Why didn't you just say it's the same shiur? So it says in Ken, if you're going to tell me that it's the same shiur, Rabbi Kiva is Ben Azai, and obviously they're two different people. So it cannot be that if they're in the same brighta and they're saying different things, obviously they're arguing with each other. So Hatam the comes and he says three in order to swallow 3 eggs one after another, and Hachan here he's saying just 1 egg. So answers the Gemara the Rabbi Kiva coming. He's talking about the Shita of Rabbi Kiva. The Gemara that he said that he says you have to first roast it and then swallow it. So Ema, why don't we just say why don't we just say that the swallowing of it is right, the swallowing of 3 eggs one after another, which is the same thing as roasting and swallowing. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Elazar ben Yirmiyah, Omer Rabbi Elazar ben Yirmiyah comes and he says, Kedei shikshor gardinima, in order to tie 2 different, like a knot of 2 different parts for when they're going to come and start sewing. So by Ravashi, what are we talking about? We're talking about in a case where the 2 of them are far away, and therefore you need more time to bring them closer and then tie it. Or we're talking about that they're right beside each other, and therefore you just have to do the knot. Right? You understand what happened? Here, you've got like a string. We're talking about that you have to come like this, and then make a knot. Or they're right beside each other. Now you make a knot. So obviously here, it took longer, because I had to bring the hands closer to come and to make the knot. So says the Gemara, Teiku. We don't have an answer. Chanim ben Pinchas Omer, she's putting her hand in her mouth in order to take a kesam. By Ravashi comes and he asks the question, to me'adek or de lo me'adek? We're talking about a case where the kesam is very, very tight in her teeth, and therefore it's difficult to get it out. They have to use a tooth floss and all that to start getting these things out. Or is it talking about that it's very easily just to take out? Teiku, we don't have an answer. Palemo says, right? She's putting her hand in a basket to take a bread. Ravashi says, are we talking about the case where the bread is tightly in the basket, so it's difficult to take it out? Or is it just right there? You just put it in your hand and take it out. So we're talking about also that the basket is new, whereas the basket old. Okay, so basically it's easier to take it out or not. But is it talking about that the bread is hot or the bread is already cold? Right? It's Daf Daled Amud Bet.
This is all
4b.
metaphor, no?
The Gemara now says on Daled Amud Bet on the top, we're talking about chitim or seorim, which means the bread is made out of chita or seorim, because he says over here that bread which is made out of chita is much easier than barley. So therefore, it's like barley will slip out of your hand. Okay, so therefore it's important just to know that. Okay, we're talking about is it going to be soft or is it going to be hard? Take all these questions. We don't have an answer. We don't have an answer. We don't know. Okay, she's putting her hand to get a bread, but what type of a bread? You understand? You're getting it in a basket. What type of a basket? What type of bread? Is it easy to grab? Not to grab? Is it hot that you're going to drop it every 2 seconds? Is it cold? But we don't know. We don't have an answer. Okay. Next, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak bar Yosef. Amar Rabbi Yochanan says Rabbi Yochanan. Do you know that each one of these Tanaim they made it according to the Nisayon Ishi Shelo, which means, right, that's how long it took them for Hara. Yeah, that means each one of these rabbis, they actually tested it. Meaning they wanted to find out how long does it take for Hara, so they tested it. So ask the Gemara, 1 second. Vayika Ben Azai. Ben Azai was in part of the list. He never got married. Ben Azai never got married. So how did he test it exactly? You understand? So answers the Gemara, if you want, you can answer Nasiv Shava. No. He did get married and then he never stayed married. That means basically that's it. He never stayed married. Or if you want to answer, he heard it from his rabbi. If you could answer, Sod Hashem Lireav. The secrets of Hashem are given to the ones that fear him. Meaning that even though he didn't actually come, right, and do anything, right, but Hashem gives the secrets to certain people. That even if they wouldn't have known it because they tested it or not tested it, Hashem gives them those secrets. Tarash Rav Avira says Rav Avira, Zili Ramaleh Mishved, something says the name of Rav. Zili Ramaleh Mishved, the name of Ravasi. Kol haochel lechem lo netilat yadayim kilu bal isha zona. If you eat bread without netilat yadayim, it's as if that you had relations with a zona. Shneimar b'zeh in pasuk ki be'ad isha zona al kikar lechem. What does that mean? Pasuk is saying that because for kikar lechem that you didn't do netilat yadayim, you have the onesh, the punishment of an isha zona. Amar Rava says, "Hai ba'ad isha zona kikar lechem, be'ad kikar lechem and isha zona." It's not for an isha zona yad kikar lechem. Here it's be'ad kikar lechem. You have the isha zona mibayle. If you're going to learn it that way, so Amar Rava says, "Kol ha'bayli isha zona lesov makesh kikar lechem." Somebody that has relations with a zona, at the end he will have to start asking for bread. Meaning aniyut comes to him, and therefore he's going to start asking for bread. What does that mean? Because we know that when a person comes, right, and the person has relations with a zona, so that he loses his parnasah. Yeah, this is one of the reasons people should be careful. Right, they lose their parnasah. Much like that. So Amar Rabbi Zrika, Amar Rabbi Lazar says Rabbi Zrika, name Rabbi Lazar, Kol mezalzel benetilat yadayim ne'akar min ha'olam. Anybody that's going to be mezalzel in netilat yadayim is going to be uprooted from this world. Amar Rabbi Chia barashim Rav says Rabbi Chia barashim name Rav. Maim rishonim tzarich sheyagbiya yadav lemala. When you're doing maim rishonim, which is the first netilat yadayim, you put your hands upwards, which means that you put them like this, right, towards up, right. So that way the menetilah, right, it says over here shemia netilah yavru lechivun zrotav. So that way they go downwards. Maim acharonim you have to do downwards because you want that it should go downwards. So it's going downwards, not upwards. Why? Because if you're going to come and do the Maim Nishonim, and then you're going to come and you're going to put your hands downwards, the water might come down and be metameh again. So because of that, it's better that you put it upwards, so that way the water comes down, it's not going to be metameh the time. Amar Rabbi Yavu. Rabbi Yavu says Rabbi Yavu, Kol ha'ochel pap lo nigvu yadayim. If you eat bread without drying your hands, Kilo ochel lechem tameh. It's like you're eating lechem tameh. Shneimar says the pasuk, "Vayomer Hashem kacha yochlu bnei Yisrael et lachma tameh." You're eating your bread like tameh. So therefore, you always make sure that you dry your hands before eating your bread. My ve'eshet ish nefesh yikarat hatzut. So what does it mean now? There's a pasuk there said ki be'ad isha zonan kikar lechem, and then it says ve'eshet ish nefesh yikarat hatzut. What's going on now? Like what is this referring to over here? Okay, so he comes and he says. Amar v'chi Abba Amar Yochanan, Kol adam sheyesh bo gasut ruach levasov nikshal be'eshet ish. If a person is haughty, at the end he's going to commit adultery with a married woman. שנאמר, but it says in the pasuk, ve'eshet ish nefesh yekara tatzur. An eshet ish, a nefesh yekara, a person that's very yekara, that's very, like expensive. Meaning the guy that has haughtiness, arrogant, it's going to catch him. So Amar Rava says, "Hi nefesh yekara, nefesh givua mi baile." What nefesh yekara? It's just nefesh givua. Person that's arrogant. There's a nefesh givua, not yekara. So he says, "Ve'odem." Furthermore, he tatzur mi baile. She's going to trap him, not yekara tatzur. He tatzur. So he comes and he says, Rabbi says, somebody has a relation with a married woman. Even if you learn Torah that it's written by the Torah, right, which is the Yikara, even from a Kohen Gadol, which comes inside, she's going to put him in the Dinash Ginam, which means that if a person comes and he has relations with the Neshetish, it doesn't matter how much Torah he learned, it doesn't matter if he was even a Kohen Gadol and how important he was that he went, nothing. Nothing's going to save him. He'll go to hell exactly like everybody else. Yeah. Fine. So says the Gemara, anybody that is haughty, it's like he's being Oved Avodah Zarah. We just spoke about this in the first shiur of Chovot HaLevavot. Yeah, that we spoke about this. The concept of that somebody's haughty, it means that he doesn't believe in Hashem. So therefore he's doing Avodah Zarah. But it's written to Avat Hashem Kol Gva Lev, the abomination of Hashem is anybody that is Gva Lev, that has haughtiness. And it's written over there, don't bring a toeva into your house. So therefore you see from here that the word toeva means avodah zarah. So don't bring avodah zarah to your house and don't be haughty, which means don't have haughtiness. Rabbi Yochanan says himself said, not only that he's doing avodah zarah, he's kafar in Hashem. You're going to put your heart up above, and then you're going to forget Hashem, your God. It's like he had relations with all the moral relations. Right, that you shouldn't do any of these toavot. Ula says kilu bana bama. It's like he built a bama. Bama is like a mizbeach for avodah zarah. Remember, like the for korbanot, but for avodah zarah. Right? Shneimar chilu lachem min ha'adam sheneshma babo ki b'mei nachshav hu al tikre b'mei la bama. Right? So you see from here, these are all the different things of arrogance. What does it mean? Anybody that has relations with an Eshetish, even a Kadosh Baruch Hu gave him. He will still get Geinam. Meaning a person, mamash, he gets Geinam. There's nothing more to talk about. Which one? If you go with the says, 1 second, we have a question of Shila. What does it mean Yad Yad? So he says Yadi mi baile. It should be Yadi mi baile, not Yad liyad, one hand to another. Even if he received the Torah like Moshe Rabbeinu, that it's written right by Moshe Rabbeinu, he will not be cleansed from Geinam. So he says 1 second, but Kash Rabbi Yochanan, Hayal Yad mi baile, one hand from another hand. It should have been written. And Rabbi Yochanan says, even if you do tzedakah basetet, right? And that means basically you're going to come and you're going to give from yad liyad, meaning from one hand to another hand. He's still going to get geinam. Okay, we continue tomorrow.